Week number 8, Jason, senior night,
The
final.
Ocho.
Yeah, the Ocho. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. It's a bold strategy.
Bold move, and we hope it pays off on Friday.
Tipton coming in, but first, North Cedar. 49-7, the monsoon that we were expected to see never materialized, so pretty good field conditions, and the Bears took care of business up there.
The monsoon was the West Branch offense, I think, Stephen. 398 yards in the first half. After the first drive, which started about 10 minutes early because we weren't – the game started a little bit earlier than expected, but after the first drive, the Bears scored on their next 7 consecutive drives on offense, 6 of them in the first half, then the first drive in the second half. In fact, in the end of the first half, there was a 15-play, 76-yard drive to cap things off in the first half. So the Bears – kind of blew right down the field for the next 7 drives and at will they were just, we had 400 yards, 398 at half, 569 was the overall record for a team, so they were on pace. They were humming.
They were on their way, but and you do that without Tanner Lukovsky at running back. Jacob Graves slides back there. You got Dakota and Cameron slide in kind of that wing and fullback position. Levi Kleinminer saw some spots at fullback, and so, next man in, everybody stepped in and really just kind of took care of business, and I think the focus was a lot better than we saw 2 weeks ago up at Durant.
Yeah, the road trip was a little bit better of a business trip this time around than the last time because a lot more kids got the opportunity to play. Jake Graves stepped in and did a wonderful job. He had 179 yards rushing on 23 carries, is that right? 23 for 179, which actually that total is the highest rushing total on 24 carries, was the highest rushing total by yardage for any running back this year. So he's just filling in. Hopefully for maybe a week or 2 more. We never know. But if he's going to be the fill-in, he's shown he can be a productive one. And I said Bauer, he had a pretty productive week last week with 11 tackles against Illinois. So we throw that in because he's a former Bear. But Bo Cornwell, wow, he had a fantastic game last week. 314 yards of total offense, Stephen. 21 of 27 if you want to look at it without the spike. 279 yards passing and had 3 rushing touchdowns. I mean, the kid is really starting to come in form and playing at a really high level as we get towards the end of the season.
Well, and that all leads to week number 8 and a couple different storylines. You've got, of course, the Cedar County Cup coming in, chance to win that outright here. You've got senior night, last chance for these 7 seniors to play at least a regular season game at the Little Rose Bowl, and opportunity to clinch at worst a share of the district championship. So a lot of different things that come into this contest against a Cedar County foe in Tipton who has a lot that they want to try to prove here coming in this week.
Right. Not only the Bears can clinch with a win, would clinch be it a tie or not. If they get to 8 wins, they are the number 1 seed and will get another home game in the first round of the playoffs. But Tipton, they are in that position of they've got nothing really left to play for because their playoff bubble, I think, has burst. That's no offense. It's just the record dictates that, Stephen. But we've used this adage before, this analogy of they're that boxer in the 12th round that has nothing left but to come out and throw punches all they've got. And they have something to play for. It's West Branch. It is a Cedar County game. It's a rivalry. It's a team that they've really not had much success against in the years, and they would love to knock West Branch off. A guy like Ben Emmerich at quarterback and is also their leading tackler on the defense. He's a solid football player. The Bears need to keep an eye on him. They've got 78 different formations going, a lot of counters, a lot of jet sweeps, a lot of old stuff that we used to see when you were playing with the wing tee.
Yeah, it feels like kind of some of the stuff that we saw with Coach Rummel's late 80s, early 90s. Applington Parkersburg ran a lot of that, a lot of different things that you're seeing. Defensively, though, that was the thing that really kind of stood out for me on film is they run kind of a 3-3-5, like a nickel look. They're small. They don't have a lot of big bodies, but the guys that they put out there, they're tough. You look Emmerich, he's one of the better wrestlers in the area. Several other guys exact same way, and you see that. They flow to the football. They're not afraid of contact. They're going to put pad on you, and they're going to drop down. They're going to grab ankles and not let you go. So yards are going to be hard to come by on Friday night.
And I think what the average fan is going to look out there when the Bears get on offense Friday and say, oh, wow, Ben Thompson's 6'2", and he's got a guy guarding him that's about 5'6". Don't let that fool you. Yeah, there is a height advantage. Yeah, and we've mentioned that in a few other examples and in other games, rather, where you can throw it up and maybe he'll go make a play because of that advantage. This little guy, he's quick. I think he's number 4.
Yeah.
Number 4. And yes. 5'6", 125 pounds, but he's going to bring it. And he's probably a wrestler too. So these wrestlers, they know how to get gritty, they know how to be tough.
It's all about the leverage.
And I think you're going to see that Friday night from Tipton because again, the Bears have all these emotional things going on. You got senior night, the last regular season home game that these kids will ever, senior 7 guys will ever get to play. A lot of emotions, whereas they're coming over, they've got one goal, and that's to beat West Branch. We'll see if they can do it Friday.
Speaking of those seniors, 7 of them, Barnhart, Black, Freese, you got Graves, you got Thompson, you got Passeri, and you got Gould. So those 7 guys, they've been through this program, even going all the way back to, some of the junior high stuff and beyond, earlier than that. And, great opportunity for them and their parents to get recognized for everything that they've contributed here to this program.
It is, and when you really look back at some of their junior high days, for instance, the level of success was not at a high level as far as on the win-loss record. But now to see where they've come is, I think they were either 0-9 or 1-8 as freshmen, to 1-8 as sophomores, to 6-4 last year as juniors, and now this year as the leading class for a football team. They've got them ranked 5th in the state or 6th in the state, depending on which poll you look at. 7-0, leaders in the district. I mean, what a great accomplishment. And they're seniors. They deserve a lot of respect, and hopefully get your applause on Friday when they show up and we announce their name for all of what they have done for West Branch football.
Well, it is a fresh soft and varsity contest. Fresh soft will start a little after 5. Varsity scheduled for about a 7:30 kick, and senior stuff right before the game. Is that correct, Jason?
Correct.
So make sure you plan to get there early. Enjoy this fresh soft squad. Only lost for their second time this past week, but they're doing some great things as well, building for the future. And then if you can't make it, 7 o'clock is our pregame. 7 o'clock will be the kick, or 7:30 the kickoff right here at westbranchfootball.com with the Bearcast.